Hey everybody, welcome to our first draft video for TwoQBs.com. My name is Greg Smith. You may know me from the 2QB Experience podcast. Little did you know I dabbled in video. We are drafting a 10-team 2QB league here. I have Sal Stefanile and Jeff Dumont on the line with me. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How you doing tonight, Greg? Jeff?
Doing all right.
I'm doing great. We got 15 seconds before this league starts. 2 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex, and a bunch of bench spots. Sal, you got the second pick overall. Who are you looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a 10-team setting, so I think I can wait on quarterback and hopefully just get one of these. Well, not hopefully, I have a top 2 pick, so I'll definitely be able to snag one of the top 3 receivers. It looks like I'm already on the board, so got Antonio Brown. That leaves me with either Julio or OBJ. I don't think either one is a bad pick. I'm going to go with Julio just to diversify most of my OBJ stocks.
So you're up next here, Jeff.
Yeah.
If you had Sal's pick there, would you have just jumped on one of the wide receivers?
I probably would have went Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so you're an early QB guy.
Yeah, I like the studs and streaming thing. Yeah, it looks like Rodgers might actually fall to me at number 5. I'm alright with that.
Yeah, man. I think we've seen kind of this shift that, especially in the industry drafts, where quarterbacks have been taken later than usual, but we keep getting this sentiment from a lot of our readers at home leagues. It tends to still be quarterback early. So it'll be interesting to see Jeff's team, how it shakes out if he goes quarterback with his first pick.
I'm still on board for running backs in the first round sometimes, and that's what I'm looking at here as, the wide receivers keep flying off the board. Like, I do like David Johnson a very large amount. I mean, what's the alternative at this point? Like, if everyone else has gone wide receiver, I'm looking at taking DeAndre Hopkins or Allen Robinson. Like, I guess I like that pick, but I'd rather just try to get the best running back this late in the draft, at the 8th pick.
Right. I think after Hopkins and Green go off the board, that's like the top tier for receivers, and you're kind of looking at a bunch of guys that are projected similar in stats, so you probably could get in the second round. So it gives you that leeway to go running back early, especially because most of the top backs do fall that far.
Yeah, and there goes Hopkins, who is like the one wide receiver left who I think you can make the argument for. Like, I'm not taking Allen Robinson over David Johnson, Todd Gurley, or even like Lamar Miller or Jamal Charles. And Jamal Charles is buried in these ranks. I'm going to take DJ. He's my boy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that 7 of the first 8 picks. No, yeah, 6 of the first 7 picks are wide receivers, which pretty much just annihilated that wide receiver 1 tier.
This is a half-point PPR, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. 4 points per passing touchdown, -2 for interceptions, half-point PPR. Otherwise, standard scoring. We are not drafting kickers or defenses today, so that'll save us, a very small amount of time.
So here's a question
Nice.
for you, Jeff, because you did go quarterback first with Rodgers, and right now he's the only quarterback that's been taken in the first round. Is that going to lead you to go with 2 elite quarterbacks with your first 2 picks, or are you going to go a different position?
Yeah, man. If Cam is still there at number 16, I probably would take him. If he's not, I'm thinking about Lamar Miller, unless Greg jacks me right here.
You may not get him.
Damn it. Yeah, it looks like, wow, Cam still hasn't gone, huh? All right.
Zeke's still available, too. What do you guys think about Ezekiel Elliott? Because I have him ranked really high. It's hard for me to stomach that ranking over a guy like Lamar Miller or even Jamal Charles.
I was going to say, that's probably just more to do with the fact we haven't seen him play in the NFL at a high level yet. I mean, the way everybody's projected him to kind of just take over at the DeMarco Murray role for him 2 years ago leads to possibly where he could be the top running back in the league, but we just haven't seen anything from him yet.
Yeah, the temptation's there for sure for Ezekiel Elliott, but it does seem like he's being overdrafted quite a bit this year. I mean, the O-line, you can't go wrong with Dallas's O-line. But with Lamar Miller, it just seems like his floor is so high, It seems like he's one of the truly last, 3-down running backs there are, I feel.
Yeah, well, I'm going to let these running backs slide. I think with David Johnson in the first round, I'd rather grab, someone who's close to being an elite receiver, and that's Mike Evans, so he's my pick. Jeff, you're coming up next here. Let's get through the second round, then we'll take a little break. Who are you looking at now? Are you still hoping for Lamar Miller or Cam Newton?
Yeah, either or. With 2 picks before me, I'll take whichever one's available. I'm going to queue up Lamar Miller first and then Cam. But, in a 2QB league, I'm okay with going Rodgers and Cam 1 and 2. Actually, I think I might actually do that.
Just to give that strategy some credence here, I mean, nobody's touching quarterbacks. This is insane.
This is insane.
Now, Sal, who are you hoping to land at the end of the round?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If I can snag one of these running backs that falls, like a top 5 guy, the guys left. So Zeke just went off the board. So that leaves McCoy, Peterson, Freeman, Miller, and Charles. I think there's a good chance I might be able to snag one of those guys, just because compared to the receivers that are left, I think I would just have just a higher floor with those running backs.
And wow. All right,
Jordy Nelson. That's too high.
That is really high for Jordy. All right, QB. I guess I'm going early round QB.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, in a 10-team league, I think you can get away with it more, right? The quarterback position is a little deeper, but it does mean that like everyone knows that, and you can, because everyone else is kind of waiting on the position, you might be able just to take the 2 best guys and have that be a legitimate advantage for you. Whereas in a 12-team league, making that commitment really can set you too far behind at wide receiver and running back without giving you enough of an upside. Like if you had to take Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger in the first 2 rounds for early round quarterback, I don't like that. But because you got 2 guys who are potentially going to finish 1-2 at the end of the season, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think there is quite a bit of a drop-off. If I can get the actual QB1 and QB2, if they finish that way, I mean, the difference between QB1 and 2 versus QB20, that's going to be about 150 fantasy points. And that you're looking at pretty much the same thing as wide receiver 1 versus wide receiver 20, I think. I mean, I should look at the stats a little bit more, but I think QBs have quite a bit of more higher floor, and they're a little bit better. They have a better ceiling. I mean, they're a little safer, I should say.
Well, you started the quarterback run, and it's happening around Sal right now, where
Nice.
Andrew Luck went, then Sal took Alshon Jeffrey, a clear indicator that he wants Jay Cutler later. and then Russell Wilson went. There's another pick here at the turn before you're back on the clock, Sal. Where's your head at? Who are you looking at?
I mean, just because I like a group of those running backs, I thought at least one of them would fall to me with this pick. I decided to shore up another wide receiver to team up with my first wide receiver, and which kind of worked out to me because there's still a whole bunch of running backs on the board.
Oh, definitely.
Shady. Nice pick.
So you like LaShawn McCoy more than Doug Martin, Jamal Charles? Explain yourself.
I don't know. I don't understand what the hate is with LaShawn McCoy this offseason. He's in a run-first offense. He can catch the ball. He's got Tyrod throwing to him. They're each going to take pressure off each other in that game. And we saw LaShawn McCoy, even though he didn't play the whole season, he still was on pace for a top 12 season based on fantasy points per game. And I just think he's going to be right back in there again. I mean, I could be wrong because a lot of people kind of are down on him this year.
I like Miller a lot. I mean, McCoy a lot. For sure.
I don't think he's bad, and I'm not down on him either. I just most people have them ranked differently than that, and I was just curious to hear your take on that because I myself would take Charles over him. I do like McCoy over a guy like Doug Martin, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think McCoy and Charles and Freeman end that running back 1 tier for me. I just knew I had to get one of them because none of them would be on the board when I came back on the clock in round 4.
All right, well, I'm on the clock here. We're going to take a quick break, and I'll recap my picks when we're done with that. Okay, we're back. I took Mark Ingram there at the end of the third, and I was just talking to Sal and Jeff here in the break about how much I love getting Ingram there in that spot. It feels like a really nice value to me. I love that he's going to have a little bit more predictability in that really powerful Saints offense, whereas the receivers may not be quite as predictable. Back on the clock here, Dante Moncrief at the beginning of the fourth over Demaryius Thomas is just wrong. I will take Demaryius. Thank you very much.
And over T.Y. Hilton, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of high.
That's a very high for Moncrief. That's a pretty hot take to take him over T.Y. Hilton in general.
We should ask him why he went Moncrief.
The hype is real.
The hype is so real. Jeff,
Yes.
you're up. Or soon.
No,
maybe.
No, Matt is up.
Well, I mean,
I was
soon.
like, what the hell? Soon, yeah. Oh, right.
Pick.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm definitely going anti-receiver running back, so...
just take another quarterback.
Third QB.
Why not? Russell Wilson available. Drew Brees is there. I'm looking at Doug Martin or Eddie Lacy. Why the heck not?
God, those are both nice values here.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to. Oh wait, Gronk did go. I missed that one.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, really?
Boom!
I missed that too. You snuck that one in there.
Yeah, I was a little quiet on that one. I was pretty happy.
When was that, third round?
Like,
yeah, third round Gronk.
Yeah,
he's sliding down there more and more. And some of our MFL slow mocks for 2QBs, he's been going into the third round more and more often, and that's where I would start to consider him. And I hate taking tight ends early.
Yeah, generally, actually, I'm in about 50 MFL 10s, and I think I have one share of Gronk because he just goes too early. Like, I'll take him midway through the second, but he seems to be always going in the first, like late first, early second.
It's interesting to see the shift that, Gronk basically, like, he's going to be a first or second round pick no matter what the last 2 years. He's just kind of quietly, slowly been going lower and lower this year. No one's really talking about it as much as they have the past 2 years.
Well, I'm sure the injury has a lot to do with it. We don't really know how healthy he is right now.
Mm-hmm. And having Martellus in there, too.
I might have to handcuff him with Martellus. That'd be a pretty solid strategy. Because Bennett could be like the number one tight end if Gronk goes down.
Definitely.
I was watching the NFL Now app today, and they had all the preseason throws from every quarterback, and they're showing the Jimmy Garoppolo highlights, and it was basically just like dump off after dump off to Martellus.
Nice. I think the Brady suspension is really scaring a lot of people away from Gronk, but they really shouldn't. Like you said, Garoppolo is just dumping it off. So both those guys can be so good.
So I know I'm mainly like a late round quarterback or studs and streaming type of guy.
Drew Brees.
But when someone like Drew Brees falls to the fourth round of a 2 quarterback draft and he has the floor, I mean not the floor, the ceiling to be like the overall fantasy quarterback one, it's kind of hard to pass him up. Especially because I've already built my team around receivers, and there's just a ton of late round running backs I can pick and choose for the RB2. It just makes sense right now to bring in that flexibility of draft strategy and take Drew Brees for this team.
Looks like you sniped P's nuts.
he just doesn't look too happy.
No.
That is like half the reason to go late round QB is it just affords you the opportunity to audible into something where value does present itself with Drew Brees in the end of the fourth. Yeah, I love that pick. I would have made that same one.
Yeah, that's solid.
Doug Martin this late, though, is a nice value as well, and that's who P's Nuts settled on after Brees was gone.
Like, Greg, in our home league, I'm sure Brees will go in the second, if not late first. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
The difference.
And like Sal was talking about, that's indicative of most home leagues. The guys who are, famously good at quarterback go in the first 2 rounds. And, you can't argue against it necessarily. I think it's easier to draft the other way and be competitive. That's why I love late round QB so much.
And we saw that with this draft. We had 4 quarterbacks go in the first 2 rounds. And I think people after that just kind of wait, and then they'll go with the Brees and Roethlisberger, Eli tier, and Rivers, and then they'll just wait some more after that. So it's kind of interesting to see what quarterback goes first after those first 4 are taken. It's usually Brees, but not always, and just to see what round they go in.